let's start by coming into a comfortable seated position. You can rub your hands together, make your little adjustments that you need. Make sure your microphone isn't disappearing. And then shake out your hands. Maybe sigh out your breath. And then bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. You might want to dedicate your class to someone, or even just lift up a theme that you're working on. Maybe you're practicing for more open-heartedness, or more patience, or more generosity, or more kindness, or more equanimity. And we're so amazing beings, we can even dedicate our class to someone and focus our practice, so there's no limitation there. And let's sound 3 ohms. Empty your breath. Take a deep inhale. And then maybe shake out your hands a little bit again, and then take your hands to your scalp and run your hands through your hair, perhaps. And this is a kind of weird one. You're going to pull your hair. Now, if you have short hair, you might be a little harder to grasp. If you have long hair, you can do like one ponytail yank. But just take a couple moments and pull your hair. And, it shouldn't hurt you. It should be pleasant. And then you can just take your fingertips to your scalp and shift your scalp around. Letting your thumbs find the meeting of your skull and your neck, and you do a nice little pressure there. And then shake out your hands again, making sure that your shoulders haven't crept up into your ears. I like that. Do a little hug, a little forward bend. And then once again, bring your knuckles to your forehead and iron out your forehead. You can also try this with straight fingers. Like you're just kind of pulling your forehead like unfurrowed, unfolded, unwrinkled. And then drag your knuckles over your cheekbones. And then shake out your hands again. Now, before we move on to the jaw, take your left ear to your left shoulder, and then let your left hand go around the back of your head and pull next to your eyes, pull back and up a little bit, and then look up at the ceiling and try to stick your tongue down to the floor. So go. And then release, and we're gonna do the other side. So I like to think of this as a little gargoyle pose. And gargoyles are supposed to be scary, to protect things. maybe we're asking for a little gargoyle protection. So take your ear, your right ear to your right shoulder, pull the skin right by your ear up and back, look up 45 degrees, and then inhale. And with your exhale, stick your tongue, try to reach your tongue to the floor. Beautiful. Now take your hands to your chest and lift your chin up and stick your tongue out and then windshield wiper your tongue side to side. Fantastic. Retract. And we're going to take our hands to our jawline. So making a little massage. So we can have little face routine little face yoga routines throughout the day. You know, just taking a little 5-minute break from your computer, or like when you wake up in the morning, you can even do these in bed. You can do some of them when you're driving a car, some of them when you're driving a bike, some of them not. All right, after you've massaged a little bit, then we're going to take these pressure points. So take your first knuckle and your thumbs right underneath your chin and squeeze in. So it's quite an active, quite a hard squeeze. And then just move along your jaw, just intensely squeezing. And then shake out your hands one more time. And we're going to make our way into Sphinx pose. And Sphinx is one of the postures where I like to continue with my little face yoga exercise just a wee bit more. But first, settling in, finding the right shape for your body today. You can make it more gentle by bringing your legs closer together to ease off the pressure on your lower back, or make your legs a little wider if you feel pretty good in your body. Feel how your breath feels in this shape today. And then turn your chin to your right shoulder. Lift up your chin so you can feel the stretch on the left side of your neck. And then push your lower jaw towards your shoulder more and out and make like a duck face. Fantastic. And then release back through center, and of course take the other side. So you're going to take your jaw to your left shoulder, lift your jaw up, tilt it up, feel the stretch on the right side of your neck, and then purse your lips, pushing your lower jaw, your lower lip out. And then return to center. And while you're looking straight forward, you're going to make the O, like an O with your mouth, where your top lips are covering your top teeth. Dropping your jaw, and then looking up 45 degrees and seeing if you can just move you might be alternative, one eye and then the other eye, or maybe both eyes at the same times, but you can feel that you're exercising the muscles right below your eyes. That one takes a while to understand if you're doing it right, but you're experimenting and find out what feels right. And then relax, letting your shoulders soften down your back. Here we are in February, and for those of us living in the Northern Hemisphere, still winter. There was some beautiful snow up here in Sweden today. I know, like really beautiful. It's just like flurries and, that feeling where the snow is really quite dry. And so it just floats down like they're little like feathers, really reminding me of Mother Holle, the fairy tale. And here in Sweden, we can really tell that the light's coming back. So long before the warmth comes back here, the light comes back. And we've even been blessed by some sunny days, which isn't a guarantee. And every year after, especially like in like March or end of February, March, April, like the sun comes back and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all the dust in the house. I didn't know. Like somehow during the winter, it's been all nicely just kind of hidden away from you. Now either stay here or extend your arms coming into seal. So we spent a little bit over 5 minutes in our Sphinx and seal today. We, even more so nowadays with smartphones, but computers and driving, we spend a lot of our time bending forward. So it's always nice to have a little extra back bend time coming to our mat for practice. And now to finish off today, bend your knees and then walk your hands towards you and see if you can actually start to reach your feet towards your head and your head towards your feet. Take a full inhale and then with your exhale, soften down to the ground, stacking your forearms, wiggling your hips side to side. Then climb back up onto your forearms. And to counter our back, we're going to take a little yang intermission here. It's a little like a palate cleanser for our practice. So tuck your toes under, bring them hip distance apart. It could be a little bit wider. And then lift up into a forearm plank. Now, if this is too hard for you, you can always you put your knees on the ground and then lift up your feet. And you can alternate. You can also bring your weight a little backwards and forwards. We're going for about 15 more seconds. It's okay if you're shaking. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bring your right knee forward. And we're going to set up for swan. So first we're going to take a lifted swan. So you stretch your left leg back. Adjust your right heel to where it makes sense for you. You can always check your alignment, see if you can balance there. If you're tight in your hips, you might need to bend your back knee. Or take your right knee more to the right. So we can feel an active pressure in the lower back, a little bit different than Sphinx because we're a little bit more active here. We're a little bit higher. And then start to walk your arms forward, coming into your version of sleeping swan. So of course, yin yoga, we use swan instead of pigeon to wake us up and remind us that we're practicing this in a slightly different way. And so after you find the alignment, you want to make your attention return to becoming soft, to becoming gentle in your body. Now, our yin poses, even though the cues are such that I'm talking about becoming soft and being gentle, sometimes it's even referred to as gentle yoga, you'll notice that it doesn't always show up so sweetly or without sensation. And for me, this is such a useful part of the practice because, what good is it to practice to be gentle and soft when we feel good and we feel relaxed, like, ooh, that's so easy and nice. But actually, where we really need to practice it is when we're confronted, when we're challenged, when we're, upset about something, or when someone, irritates us. Like, can we come to our gentleness then, or to our kindness then? And we'll notice that that softening and opening takes a lot more power than reacting with constriction and emotion, or aggression and action. And start to lift your head and walk your hands back towards your right shin. Shift your weight to your right buttocks and sweep your left leg around in front of you and see if you can interlace your fingers or just grab onto the bottom of your feet and then stretch your left leg up. Look up. A little yang moment. Lift your heart, pull your belly in. Take a full inhale. And then with your exhale, you're going to put your left foot on the ground, setting up for a twist. So you have your left foot on the outside of your right thigh. If you need to, you can slide it forward to get the whole foot on the ground. Take your left hand behind your back onto your yoga mat. Stretch up with your right arm and then twist away from your right arm to the left, pinning your left elbow on the outside, your right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Inhale, get lifted, and with your exhale, twist. And this is quite a yang posture, but see if you can feel where do you need to soften to deepen the yang twist even. Take another full inhale, and then with your exhale, unwind and just give a soft little bow to the right hand side. And then sit up, cross your ankles, and come back to, this time, a fully extended arm plank. Reach your heels back, your chest forward, puffing up in between your shoulder blades. Now, if you'd like, you can inch backwards and forwards. Sometimes it's easier to keep your muscles active by adding just small movements. We're going to do it for 15 more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bring your left knee forward. Stretching your right leg back and lifting up into this quite active swan to start with. I don't know if you could hear it, but one of my ankles was clicking every time I went backwards and forwards. You know, the idiosyncrasies that you find in your body. It wasn't like that yesterday. So make sure that you can be stable here. You can reach your arms back. Feeling how the pressure is a little bit more intense on the right side than on the left side in your lower back, and also in the front of your hip, stretching the hip flexor. And then start to extend for sleeping swan. So I came across a Quero Apache prayer or blessing that I've said many times here. Looking backward, I am filled with gratitude. Looking forward, I am filled with vision. Looking upward, I am filled with strength. Looking within, I discover peace. Today the moon is in Scorpio, which always makes for a little bit more of an investigation into our feelings and often a little more of an intense flavor for the day. And just like this gentleness, you know, it's not every day that I turn inward and I'm like, oh yeah, there I'm so peaceful. But on some days, really, I have to explore and search and maybe even wrestle some dragons or confront some monsters on my way to discovering peace. And from the other direction, I also notice that some days I can really create peace from my inner place. You know, I can be bitching and moaning and complaining about the day's struggles or life struggles, but then if I turn inward, I on purpose can bring up a little bit more acceptance and activate making peace internally. But, you know, if we think of people who've discovered things, often there are, there journeys involved and trials and tribulations and one challenge or, having to fight 7 monsters and then the discovery is made. Or sometimes discoveries are made through accidents, losses, or meeting just the right mirror. And start to walk your hands back towards you. Rock onto your left buttocks and sweep your right leg around, either grabbing onto your foot or you can hold behind your calf or your thigh. Feel your leg extending, look upward, pull your belly in, heart lifting. And then step your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Feel both your sit bones on the ground, so you might have to wiggle some adjustments. Bring your right hand behind your lower back onto the yoga mat. Stretch up your left arm and then twist, coming into this active twist. Even with this yang twist, find out where are the yin moments, where are the yin elements here. And then unwind and give a little counter bow to your left hand side. Place both of your feet onto the yoga mat. Grab onto the backs of your thighs. And very slowly roll one vertebrae at a time down to the ground, releasing into Shavasana. Close your eyes. You can always lift up your hips and readjust your lower back. Lift up your ribs and squeeze your shoulder blades together, pull them down, and then let your body be soft against the ground. Your eyes are closed. With your next inhale, start to invite your breath to the edges of your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms above your head, wiggle your feet away from your hands. And then roll into a ball, hugging your knees in. And then help yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to heart center, let your shoulders soften. If you dedicated your practice, lift up an image of that person you dedicated it to. Empty your breath. Let's close with one Om. Take a deep inhale. Bring your prayer hands to your third eye. Invite the divine light. And as we bow forward, together we say, Namaste. And so much love. Make some noise. Wow. Yeah. Thank you.